What is up? This is Josh West with Cellar Door Sound, and this is the first video on this channel. Super exciting. I'm very stoked. Today, I'm going to quickly run you through a really cool way on how to get a professional sounding reverb out of GarageBand. Before I jump into that, I want to let you know about a completely free preset bundle that I just came out with. This is over 30 presets for EQ, compression, and saturation and distortion for your vocals. So if you're new to audio, if you're new to recording yourself, if you're trying to figure out EQ and compression and what settings you should have, this preset bundle is perfect for you. You just load them into your computer and start messing around with them, and it even comes with a free bonus training video that shows you how to slightly manipulate the settings within the presets to make your vocals sound like they should be on the radio. It's really awesome, and it takes out all the guesswork from just messing around and trying to get a good sound. So go grab that. It's at www.cellardoorsound.co/free presets. Highly recommend it, and just click the link in the description and go grab it. All right, cool. So today we're in GarageBand, and I personally don't like the presets for the reverbs and stuff that are in GarageBand. To set a reverb in GarageBand, it's very, very simple. You basically just select a track, and you come down here and turn up the reverb. And it has a few settings that you can mess with, but honestly, I've never been able to get a great sounding reverb by just these knobs that they let you mess with. So I'm going to show you an easier way and a much better way to get an awesome sound out of your vocal in this free program. And we're using all free plugins. We're not doing anything you have to pay for. If you have a Mac computer, get GarageBand, and all this stuff comes with it, which is pretty sweet. Okay, so let's play this song really quick so I can show you what we're dealing with here.
My 3 words have 2 meanings, but there's one thing on my mind. It's all for you.
All right, beautiful vocal. That's my friend Bethany Dunn and Gideon Dunn on the guitar. Super good sound. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to click on our vocal track here. And I'm going to go down to, I'm going to click this little track guy right here and then scroll down to plugins. I have some channel EQ and I have some compression. Both of these are from my presets in my preset bundle that you can get for free. All right, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to click on my vocal track here, Beth Vocal, and then I'm going to scroll down. Make sure you have track selected and not master. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down. And I've got channel EQ and compression already on this vocal. These are both from my preset bundle that you get for free. That was a bad wink. Okay, so I'm going to click right underneath in an empty plugin spot here. We're going to go down to Reverb, and then we're going to load up Platinum Verb. Perfect. All right, so this is a stock reverb in GarageBand, and I'm going to take you through a couple of these settings really quick. So we have a dry and wet percentage here. So dry percentage is basically the amount of the just dry vocal that you have. So no effects, no anything like that. So if I have this set to dry, which is 100%, and wet is the amount of this plugin that we want, the amount of reverb. So if I take this to 0 and we push play, can't hear any reverb. So if I take my dry to 0 and my wet to 100%, you hear a lot of reverb. Sounds pretty good. Okay, so let's solo. So we're this vocal. I'm going to click this little headphone guy, which just plays this vocal. And what we're going to do is I'm going to keep my dry at 100% and my wet at around 30%, just so we can kind of hear what's going on. All right, and let's just hear how this reverb sounds.
My 3 words have 2 meanings.
Turn this up a little bit.
But there's one thing on my mind. It's all for you.
All right, cool. So it sounds pretty decent. It's a little bit long, so I'm going to take this reverb time. It's just the amount of time that the reverb is going to basically play out after it first gets that vocal. And I'm going to take this down to about 2.5 here. And then the thing that really is the whole reason we're doing this is the pre-delay right here. So pre-delay is basically the amount of time that as soon as that just normal dry vocal comes out, when that reverb is going to start. So if I have this at 0 milliseconds, let's turn this reverb up a little bit so we can hear. As soon as it hears the vocal, it's just going to play the reverb at the exact same time.
My 3 words have 2 meanings, but there's one thing on my mind.
Great. All right, so now if I take this pre-delay to 200 milliseconds, it's going to wait 200 milliseconds before it's going to play that vocal.
My 3 words have 2 meanings, but there's one thing on my mind.
Cool. So it sounds like there's a delay there. There's like the vocal, then reverb, and it's a big delay basically. So pre-delay is very, very important when it comes to reverb because it's very easy to want a lot of reverb, and if you have your pre-delay here at 0 milliseconds, it kind of starts to be a little bit washy, and it's hard to get a really good reverb level. And what I like to do in most of my vocals is to allow some time for that dry vocal to come in and then the reverb to happen right underneath. And it's kind of like a subconscious thing that happens, but it makes your vocals clean and up front and really, really powerful. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring this pre-delay to about 80 milliseconds. And what I'm listening for is I'm going to push play, and I want to listen with the guitar. And I'm basically just trying to make sure it's not weirdly out of time. Like I'm going to hear that little bit of delay, but I want to make sure it's not, I don't know, just doesn't sound weird. So you kind of just go with your gut instinct here. So let's try this out.
My 3 words have 2 meanings, but there's one thing on my mind. It's all for you. But it's dark in a cold December, but I got you to keep me warm.
Cool. So about 90 milliseconds sounds pretty good. That's close. If you're on a slow song like this, anywhere from 70 to 100 milliseconds, that's usually where I kind of shoot for. It just kind of depends. I mean, we're listening here. Okay, cool. So now what we're going to do, because this reverb sounds pretty good, is we are going to right-click our vocal track, and then we are going to go to New Track with Duplicate Settings. Okay? So this created a new track, and it has my channel EQ, compressor, platinum verb. We're going to name this Vocal Reverb. Perfect. Vocal Reverb. So now I'm going to go back to my main vocal track, and I'm going to turn off my platinum verb here. We're going to go to our vocal reverb track. Make sure that we're looking at, all right, this is our vocal reverb for our platinum verb. So I just clicked on that. And now I'm going to click the region here, and I'm going to hold down Option, click and drag to copy this vocal down here. All right. So once I have done that, I'm going to go to make sure you're on your vocal reverb platinum verb here. Should say vocal reverb up top here. And then I'm going to take my dry to 0 and my wet to 100%. All right. So basically what we did is we duplicated the track but made it only reverb. So we're not getting any of that dry vocal. We're getting 100% of our wet vocal. And we do this mainly so that we can mix this reverb in with the vocal without having to do weird sliders within the plugin. And then to add one little tiny thing, which I'm going to say in just a second. All right, so now we're going to set our level. So I'm going to take our vocal reverb all the way down to negative infinity to nothing. And I'm going to push play, and I'm going to slowly bring this reverb up until it's sitting just underneath the vocal and not taking over the guitar here or the vocal.
My 3 words have 2 meanings, but there's one thing on my mind. It's all for you. But it's dark in a cold December, but I got you to keep me warm.
Cool. So that sounds like it's in a decent spot. And now we're going to do one more thing to make this reverb perfect. I'm going to go, make sure you're clicked on your vocal reverb track, and I'm going to add one more EQ. So we're going to go to EQ, channel EQ, right after our platinum verb. All right. And then I'm going to click this little kind of slanty guy right here. This is our low cut or high pass filter. And I'm going to, when you click that, this little red guy appears. I'm going to click this dot. Maybe, there we go. Click this dot, and I'm going to bring it all the way up to about 200 hertz. All right. So what this is doing is basically taking out all the low end under 200 hertz. I don't like a lot of low-end reverb in my vocal. It doesn't sound realistic. It makes things a little bit muddy. And if you add this low cut here, it just starts to make your vocals start to shine. All right? So let's listen to how that sounds.
My 3 words have 2 meanings, there's one thing on my mind. It's all for you.
Awesome. And we're done. That's the vocal reverb. Sounds really good with this vocal. And now it's really cool because you can start mixing the guitar. If you had more tracks, you can start mixing the tracks, and you'll always just be able to quickly grab this vocal reverb and bring it up or down dependent on how your mix is, versus going to your vocal and going to some random plugin in here and start messing with sliders. It just makes it just makes it so much easier to mess with, to mix, because the whole point of all of this is to mix and make sure you're not messing with the emotion. So hopefully that helps you out, and hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and do not forget that I came out with my vocal presets bundle, over 30 presets for EQ, compression, saturation. You can easily load them onto your own vocal tracks, and it fast tracks you to start to understand EQ a little bit better and compression a little bit better, because it comes with a free training video that shows you how to use these, how to put them in your computer, and it's all free, completely free. So just click the link in the bio or go to www.cellardoorsound.co/free presets. All right, that's it. That's my first YouTube video. Hopefully you loved it as much as I did. This is so much fun, and I'm going to do a lot more of these. So stay tuned for those. Have an awesome day, and go outside. Peace.